Hello boys and girls, it's time for another comprehension lesson. I'm Ms. Shamshideen again. Today, we will be continuing our discussion on graphic representation. Now before we start today's lesson, let's recap what we know already about graphic representation. Graphic representations are attractive ways to place information. We also discuss some forms of graphic representations such as graphs, menus, poems, cards, advertisements, television guides, and others. Now, we said that graphic representations makes information easy to read and understand. Some purposes of graphic representations are to give information, to compare and contrast things, to show the stages of something or a process, and to show pattern over a period of time. Now in today's lesson, we will be looking at graphs and timetables. What are graphs? Graphs. These are drawings that show information using lines, shapes, and colors. Graphs and charts come in various types. We have line graphs, bar graphs, pictographs, pie charts, Venn diagrams, and a few others. And I'm sure that you are familiar with some that I mentioned. They make understanding complex information and number relation very easy to understand. Now, what are timetables? Timetables are usually used to help one to be organized by following a format daily. The information on the timetable will vary since there are different types. We have class timetable, study timetable, and you can have a personal timetable. So there you see we have a few types of timetables. Now, here's an example of a class timetable, and this is for grades 3 and 4. If you look carefully, you will notice that on the timetable, it gives you the time period. It also gives you the days of the week. So it will give you activities or subjects that are to be done during different time periods throughout the day. Now a timetable helps you to keep track of time, keep you organized and focused. And it also ensures that you complete tasks within a particular time. Now let's do a little work with a few examples of graphical representations using graphs and timetables. Now the first one I have here is a graph. Now on this graph, the information that we are representing is types of school supplies. Now if you look carefully, we're going to be looking at pencils, scales, pens, sharpeners, and erasers. Now the graph shows the amount of school supplies mother bought at the supermarket. Now, which supply did she buy 8 of? Now, if you look carefully to the side, or we say vertically running, you will see the numbers from 0 to 10. And that there will give you the number for each item. The bars will be drawn to the number indicating the amount of items that mother bought. So the first question we have is, which school supply did mother buy 8 of? Can you identify from the graph which item she bought 8 of? Yes, if you look carefully, you will see that pencils is drawn to 8. So she bought 8 pencils. Now, how many sharpeners did she buy? Again, you find the word sharpener and you follow the bar upwards to see where it stops, and then you go over to the vertical part of the graph and you will see the number 5. So, mother bought 5 sharpeners. Were you able to follow that explanation on how we read the information of the graph? You look, you will see each bar running upwards and you will see on the vertical axis, we say, of that line, the information in numbers. And so you just go and take your ruler and you measure it across, or this is easy to read. As you see there, the line is going straight across to the number at which the bar stops. So for pencil, we're at 8. For scale, the bar stops at 3. For pens, it stops at 2. For sharpener, it stops at 5. And for eraser, it stops at 4. Now here we have an example again of the timetable. Now what's the first subject on Monday? So in order to read this, we have to find Monday, and it asks what is the first subject. Now remember, our different subjects are math, science, social studies, and so on, language. So what is the first subject we have? Is General Assembly a subject? Is registration a subject? No, they aren't. So our first subject there would be math. So you have to be very careful too when you're studying the graphs that you understand the information that it pertains to. Now here I have an activity for you. Can you tell me what kind of graph this is? Well, I am sure this looks quite familiar. Now on this graph, whatever type of graph you call it, you're going to find the answer just now. It's showing information relating to methods of traveling to school. So these are various methods that children use to travel to school. Let's look at the questions. What is the name of the graphical representation? Can you figure it out? Yes. This is known as a pie chart. So the graphic representation or the graphical representation is that of a pie chart. Now, which method of traveling did most students use? According to this pie chart, if you look carefully, the bigger the cut means the more, right? So if you look carefully, which part is cut the largest? If we look, we will see the red part seems to be the largest part. But what does the red part represent? If we look to the side of the pie chart, we will see for different color codes, there is a word written next to it. This is what we call the key. So wherever you see the deep blue, it indicates walking. Where you see the red, it indicates car. The green, bus. The purple, cycle. The light blue, train. And the orange, taxi. So which method of traveling did most students use? They use the car. And which method did least students use to get to school? If you look carefully, their numbers as well, you will see train. There you see in the blue, it's marked 1. And only one child used the train to get to school. So let's look at this timetable and see if we could find the information that is required. Our first question, on which day will Jack do Spanish? Now here, it asks for which day. So we have to look at each day on the timetable and see where we find Spanish being done. If we look, let's look for Monday and go downwards, and we will see after math he has music, foreign language, and foreign language will indicate Spanish because our language is English, foreign language is Spanish. So on Monday, Jack will do Spanish. Now, how many times for the week will there be a General Assembly? Can Can you count how many times there will be a General Assembly? To find this information, you need to look through each day and see if there is a time allocated for General Assembly. So let's count. On Monday, General Assembly. On Tuesday, is that General Assembly or just Assembly? It's just Assembly. So remember, we're looking for General Assembly. Thursday, no. On Friday, yes. So if you look, we have General Assembly on Monday and Friday. So we have General Assembly 2 times for the week. Now, the final question. At what time on Thursday will composition be done? It specifically asks for Thursday. On what time on Thursday will composition be done? So we come to Thursday, we come down on the timetable, we find composition, and then we go back across to our time slot, our time column, and we see there that composition will be done at or between 10:20 to 10:45 on Thursday. So there you have it. Composition will be done at 10:20 to 10:45 on Thursday. So, were you able to follow those graphical representations easily? I am sure you were, because as challenging as some of them were, some of them had really pretty colors for you to look and follow. Graphs are drawings that show information with lines, shapes, and colors. Timetables help us to be organized by following a format daily. The information on timetables will vary since they are different types of timetables. We have class timetables, study timetables, and personal timetables. Now remember, students, as you're preparing for your upcoming National Grade 6 examination, we're encouraging you to have that study timetable. You can take pattern from the class timetable. Choose a specific time and write what subject you will study during what time for each day. So it's always a pleasure to have you here with me. Look through the daily newspapers, your textbooks, or even on television to see what other graphical representations are used to give us information. Join me another time right here on the Guyana Learning Channel. Until next time, I'm Miss Shamsuddin saying goodbye.